Kia ora, everybody. It's Julian here from Shopify. Don't think you can see me. We're having a few technical difficulties regarding my face at the moment. I am not good looking enough for you guys to look at. So what we're going to do is we're going to wait for about 1 more minute, and then we're going to crack into this presentation. Hope all of you are doing well at the moment during this interesting time. And we'll give it another 30 seconds for people to turn up. Don't want to leave anyone at the gate. And then we can get started on how to get your retail business online. Hope you're doing well. With me, I have Jodine from XPO Events, the marketing manager for XPO, or for the gift fairs. She's in the background somewhere, I think, maybe hopping into the chat. Hopefully being able to put some polls or some questions to the attendees. And now that it's cracked on to 11:01, I am going to get started with the presentation. In times like this, it's always really funny when you're doing a webinar and you can't hear anybody because you have no idea what people are thinking or doing or seeing. So I'm just going to pretend that I'm talking to a room full of a couple of hundred people and that you're all smiling at me and you're all ready to take in whatever I've got to say. Okay, anyway, stop rambling, Jules, and get on with this presentation. So getting your retail business online. So for our time together today, I've broken this up into 4 sections. The new normal, or anything but. E-commerce, a high-level look at the must-haves. And then we'll dive into the basics of Shopify, and then bounce back approach and tactics, a specific approach and some tactics to deploy immediately for you and your retail, or for you and your business. So a little bit about me. This is what I look like, and I promise I do look that good normally. And I'm annoyed that you can't see me right now, but who cares? So a little bit about me. I'm the New Zealand community manager for Shopify, and I look after the education for our merchants in New Zealand with a lean towards growth and business strategy. I personally have been using Shopify for my own retail and manufacturing business, Body Effects, in Morningside, Auckland, since 2011. And I've been involved in family business since 1985. And no, I'm not a good-looking 65-year-old, but my old man had me sweeping factory floors as soon as I was tall as the broom. Family-run businesses and being an entrepreneur is in my veins and in my brain, I guess. So the new normal. Who here in this room remembers this? The stock market crash of 1987 and the flow-on effects from that made 1990 a major turning point in my life. Here, I was the youngest of 4 children who had parents that had a successful manufacturing business. I was used to the good life, private school, holidays, a certain way of living. In the space of a week, I was told that my dad's business was being liquidated. I was enrolled in a public school, family home on the market, and I still remember helping my mum and dad empty the warehouse and the factory where I spent most of my childhood. This massive change shocked me to my core, but I was still too young to really learn anything from it. Fast forwarding to 2008, where I'm in business, servicing the retail sector, turning over 3.5 million and over leveraged, definitely over leveraged with a financial institution with no hope of being able to roll over or borrow any more money to continue. And selling your brand or what you've created and any of your assets to your competitors was a major pill to swallow. It did teach me a few lessons though. I was old enough to learn, mainly around cash flow, but more in particular, diversification. So why did I tell you that story? Well, as we all know, we've got some challenging times at the moment. First of all, I think it's important to acknowledge that this new normal is not normal at all. There is no playbook for this. This is all new. Every company on the planet is navigating their way through this. retailers are especially hit hard. As business owners, there's no silver bullet. So, but if COVID-19 has taught us anything, or if any of those stories have taught us anything, it's that the resiliency of small businesses and people's willingness to adapt that gets us through the other side of any adversity. Everything we learn, share, and advise on has to be approached within that spirit, and we have to recognize that some stuff we try will land and some won't, but it's important we try regardless. So here's what we do know. New Zealand's reopening for business. What does this mean for us? Well, we need to continue to plan for a lockdown world. This is a time to innovate and use technology, both for offline and online. Traditional brick and mortar and offline channels are no longer enough. Your customers expect more options from you going forward. And we need to ensure any new plans allow us to pivot quickly. And we need to stay nimble. It's not all doom and gloom though. As always with adversity, there's opportunity. And I just want to talk about that for a second. Prior to COVID, research showed that only half of Kiwi retailers, actually well under half of Kiwi retailers, had their own website, let alone selling. But boy, Kiwis were already buying online. 2.5 million New Zealanders shop online, and that's stats from 2017. 1.7 million New Zealanders or New Zealand online shoppers say that the ability to shop outside business hours is important or very important to them. Our data now shows that even more entrepreneurs and customers are going online. Over the month of April, new online store creations on Shopify were up 150% compared to the previous month. Much of this is likely due to brick and mortar businesses moving online and online store creations. Additionally, in April, the number of consumers who bought from a New Zealand Shopify merchant for the first time increased 100% month on month. So what does this mean for you? Well, traditional brick and mortar businesses are bringing their customers online with them, and those customers are responding positively, especially local. People who have never bought online are doing so, and they're staying. Buying behavior is being impacted by this new reality. Your customers are looking for you online, so make sure they can find you and make sure they can buy easily with a great experience. So what can we expect in the near term? Social distancing, yep, that's here to stay, and we need to allow for it. I don't know any of you in the room have tried the new government QR code app. We have in our retail shop, and it works fantastically, and it reduces a lot of friction. But obviously contact tracing requirements. Retail innovation has been accelerated. Our CEO, Toby Lutka, speaks about the world we envisaged in 2030, a digitized world with shifting consumer behavior being pulled forward by 8 or 9 years. COVID has changed how buyers interact and expect to find products and needs. We need to get comfortable with that. The world we have come from is different to the one we move forward into. And omni-channel, yep, it's a big word that frightens a lot of people. I didn't really understand it until I broke it down in its simplest terms. Omni-channel retail doesn't require you to be everywhere. It just everywhere where your customers are, and providing those shoppers with a unified experience across those channels and touch points, I guess, is at the heart of what being online is all about. When my wife and I implemented our online strategy to our retail shop in 2011, the purpose wasn't just to get online because it was a nice to have, but it was to give my offline customers and people like my retail customers a similar experience to that you'd get in our physical retail shop. Your why always remains the same. The why is that you do it is critical here. So I want to run through e-commerce implementation and what I believe are the must-haves for getting online. And the funny one is the first one's not a website. The first one is content marketing, and I'm sure a lot of you already do all of this, but I just wanted to reiterate it. Before you do anything, you need to know the process for e-commerce content marketing. And firstly, the identifying your audience is the biggest one. You need to become your audience and understand who they are. One thing that we did just before COVID, which was interesting, and we try and do on a yearly basis, but we don't always get there, is surveying our customers. And we have a mailing list of around 13,000 people. And we sent out a survey to all of them, and we got about 2.5–3% responded, which is actually pretty good. And what we discovered is that we had an audience, or had a customer base, that we weren't even advertising to. My business sells makeup, and we thought most of our people that bought from our shop were professional artists, makeup artists, or worked in the professional realm. But what we discovered is that a lot of the people that bought from us were actually hobbyists, and so the way we communicated to our customers wasn't really on point. And it wasn't until we actually identified our audience and became our audience and surveyed our customers that we knew how to communicate to them. And so identifying your primary and secondary demographics are really important here. So, who are they? Are they 35 to 45-year-old runners? That sort of stuff. And then you need to know their online habits. Where are they? Are they on Facebook? Do they spend most of their time on Pinterest? Would your customer be involved in a private group dedicated to your product, or the way of life your shop represents? So where are they? Where do they live on the internet? And then thirdly, you need to create and distribute content to those places, to those customers, based on who your customer is. So I guess that's the crux of content marketing. So once you've done all that, you've done your audience research, you know who your customer is, and you're producing content, you also need a website or a storefront. Ideally, your platform allows you to add your own branding, logo, colors, and images. Side note, great images and compelling copy are crucial for effective selling. Customers should be able to build orders and pay for them, sure, but they also need to get to know you as a business online as well as offline. Your number one resource is time. The less you can spend on managing your business operations, the more time you can spend on selling your product and connecting with your customers. Your platform should make it easy to create and manage products, manage and fulfill orders, and manage payments and shipping, and even content marketing. The ability to review and track your analytics and how your website is performing is something that is often overlooked. But being able to gain insights will help you work smarter, move faster, and think bigger. I wish I could see you or hear from you. I hope this is this is good for you. But anyway, trusting your platform is something I think most businesses want. I've heard multiple horror stories of businesses who've spent tens of thousands with a developer to only know that the website didn't work, or hundreds of thousands of dollars a year trying to keep their site secure, or people who've lost $1,000 or more because their site went down on a critical sale day like Black Friday or on Boxing Day. So options for setting up your website. With all that said, you've got multiple options for setting up your e-commerce solution. One, you can custom build your own using a self-hosted solution. You can get a shop built from scratch and total control over almost every aspect of how it looks, feels, and works, but at a price. Or use a fully hosted solution. And there are many, many different options available. You can get most modern e-commerce features out of the box for a modest monthly charge. Additional features available through adding apps to that subscription, or even hiring a developer to help assist you. So I'm just going to quickly run through the basics of Shopify and just give you an overview of what is Shopify. What even is Shopify? So Shopify is a commerce platform. It's not an e-commerce platform, it's a commerce platform designed for small and medium-sized businesses. Shopify allows you to design, set up, and manage your stores across multiple sales channels. There's that omni-channel word, including a website, brick and mortar locations, social media platforms like Facebook, and marketplaces like TradeMe. With all this said, you can set up an online presence on Shopify in a few short hours. No HTML or coding knowledge required. In fact, I'm teaching a workshop tomorrow, a 3-hour workshop where you can come and watch me build a website from scratch and launch it in 3 hours. That's at shopifynewzealand.co.nz. You can book there to watch. Shopify is also cloud-based, which means it's hosted on the internet, not on a local server or a personal computer. We have over 1 million active businesses on our platform, including lots of brands you'll know, like Walker and Hall, Where the Diamonds Shine, Allbirds, and Akoya. So I'm just going to really fire through the basics. I don't want to bore you with, what it looks like on the inside. If you want to know that, you could always book a time to chat with me and let me show you. But I am just going to run through it because obviously I work for Shopify, but I use it and I just want to show you how fantastic it is. So this is the home base or control center for your business. From here, you can modify your design, your theme design, and add products. You can view and fulfill orders. It's basically your mission control. You can view reports and analytics and so much more. From the launch of your store to the thousandth sale and beyond, the admin helps you run your business. Also, this homepage would flex and update you with important news. So basically, if Shopify notices anything out of the ordinary, this is where it would tell you. Products are the backbone of your store, and we've made it as easy as possible to add and edit products whilst giving you the power to make them stand out. You can have unlimited products with Shopify, even on the smallest platform or small subscription, and not just physical products. You can sell digital products too. We give you the flexibility to sell what you want, where you want, how you want. We give you up to 3 options. For example, would be color, size, or material for your product variants, which would give you up to 100 variants per product. You can also tag your products to allow you to filter them later on. And we have pretty robust inventory tracking. You can also add video and 3D models instead of photographs if you want for products. And if you have a large amount of products already, you can easily add them all using a CSV file. So if you're already running a program and you already have all your CSVs in place, you can just quickly upload them through this portal. Collections are how you categorize and break down your products. I guess another word for collections would be categories. We've made an easy way to categorize your products, and you can create either manual or automated collections based on conditional logic. And this helps customers browse products, and it gives a really, really enjoyable shopping experience for your customers. We have a dedicated discount section. Promotions are a great way to incentivize both new and loyal customers to buy, and getting the right offer in front of the right people takes a lot of creativity and hard work. And so we've got discount codes that you can generate for dollar value discounts, percentage discounts, free discounts. We've also got automated discount codes, and we're constantly working on how to develop this as well. Pages with a built-in real-time editor, so you can actually see what they look like. They're a great opportunity for you to add in personal touches and information about your brand and about your store. It's here you can let your customers know who you are and what you're about, and even how to contact you. It really helps increase customer trust, and you kind of establish what the environment looks like from an offline onto online. The pages also support tables, and you can paste in pre-formatted text, so you can include size charts, pricing tables, all that sort of stuff. And then from the settings page, it's basically you can control everything from currency, address, payment providers, so how to set up all of that, like Afterpay or manual payment. You can add staff members. You can set up which fields are available during checkout. Work on taxes in New Zealand wide, and for exporting. You can work on your sales channels, billing, legal, all that sort of stuff. And terms of services, Shopify has terms of service generator built into it, so you don't have to necessarily go and find them. And for the New Zealand business owner, Shopify's platform and features are fully localized for the New Zealand business owner, including local payment and shipping options. Your options for payments in New Zealand vary depending on your needs, and we have a great range available, including our own Shopify payments. The advantage of using our system instead of third party are very competitive credit card rates and no transaction fees. Alternatively, you can offer buy now, pay later systems, such as the really popular Afterpay and Laybuy. Actually, we just got Afterpay installed into our shop 3 weeks ago, and I just can't believe how many people use that system. When it comes to shipping, there are a variety of apps that can integrate with major New Zealand delivery agents. A one size does not fit all, but luckily Shopify has the power to flex. So you could use anywhere from New Zealand Courier, Courier Post, the options are endless. So that was a really, really quick overview of Shopify. I just wanted to quickly just smash through that. And I wanted to give you a bounce back approach and tactics you can use for implementing e-commerce into your site. So they're basically high level areas to consider. And as we move through lockdown into a semi-reopened economy, there's a lot to consider there. But I want to give you a specific approach to look in planning on what is realistic for right now versus ongoing. This should allow you to start small, which is a great idea, and build towards being well positioned for the future. It's basically a good, better, best approach. So there are 3 levels of readiness, I believe, to work through: the good, better, best. Good is just get started. It doesn't need to be everything. I would start small, focus on your top selling products, give your customers options and routes to engage with you how they want. Heinz did this, and Lindt Chocolate did this recently with some core products, and they launched in less than a week. If you live in a traditional local offline retail world, focus on local delivery, click and collect, buy online, pick up in store. Focus on your existing customers. Take them with you on this journey. They're your champions. Loyalty and trust are key to move through this. And then better. So be good, plus elevate your customer experience. Retail experiences often show elevated customer service. Make sure that your team is prepared for an influx of online customer inquiries. Maybe have frequently asked questions updated for customers to self-service. If possible, staff could help out remotely with maybe live chat services. There's especially if they're knowledgeable on product, education and outfit building. Options like Instagram Live or Facebook Live, or offering one-to-one online shopping consultation could go a really long way. And then thirdly, new customers, collecting data and trying to capture interest of new online shoppers. As you heard me mention, consumers are shopping online with retailers for the first time more than ever before. Many buyers are moving online and will never go back, certainly in the near term. Think about new product launches and market expansion. And then best, be better. Be better plus plan ahead. We didn't touch on all these earlier, but cash flow and financial planning, reduce leverage debt, get your accounting system in the cloud and make a plan. Cash flow management strategies, develop an omni-channel strategy. Start thinking about where your customers are looking for you, interacting with you, or interacting with business like yours. Which 1 to 2 places where you might not be today? What are the 1 to 2 steps you can take to start to better unify the experience with your brand for them? Getting online may be a short-term strategy to solve the problem of today for some of you, but this is a good push to try something new. The best thing about digital is that you can experiment at a relatively low cost and learn a lot about your customers. Collect new data that you may not have been able to before. One thing about the cost, I must say, is just analyzing it with my wife. The rent for my retail shop, which at the moment is the most expensive warehouse I've ever rented. So the rent for 1 week of my retail shop is the same cost for running my website per month. And that saves a lot. And then thirdly, recession planning. differentiating, cost reduction, staying flexible in your business model. How can you reinvest through this to capture more customers? How can you partner with vendors in unique ways? Moving into new markets, launching new products. So basically, this is what I would be looking at in terms of how to implement my e-commerce strategies for my retail shop. You need to be remarkable, plain and simple. This is the time to differentiate like never before. Who do you serve? How do you serve them? And why should consumers care? Shopify has created a free COVID-19 response resource to help businesses navigate through this time, including webinars, courses, product information, marketing advice, and financial advice. And that's available at shopify.co.nz/COVID-19. I encourage anyone looking for trainings or support or to learn about other ways you can come through even more successfully to check that out. And then on a local front, I'd also like to bring your attention to shopifynewzealand.co.nz. Basically, it's a one-stop shop where you can sign up for a free trial on Shopify, book one-on-one appointments with me to help you with your online strategy. It's also a place where you can register for local events. Essentially a central hub for all Shopify resources for Kiwis. Right, so I'm wondering how this is going to work, Jodine, and if we can hear people or if there are any questions.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me, Julian?
Yep, I can hear you, Jodine.
Oh, cool. Okay, well, I think you guys can ask questions. Oh, there's someone's put their hand up.
We're very technically challenged with this, guys, so please forgive us.
Here we go. I think I've just, is it Yvette? You can now ask your question. I think, Yvette, you can talk if you want to ask your question. Okay, let's try it this way. So Darren Brown is asking, what are the pricing structures for Shopify?
Yeah, great question. So there are 4 pricing structures, and one of the fourth one is a very unknown one. So basically, there are 4 of them. The first one is Shopify Lite, where you can use the back office of Shopify and not have an online shop, but utilize a thing what we call a buy button and Facebook shop for $9 US a month. And then if you want most of the bells and whistles, a basic Shopify is $29 US. The second one is the normal Shopify, which is $79 US, and that comes with more staff accounts, better credit card rates, gift cards, and better reporting structure. The other one is the advanced Shopify, which comes with 15 staff accounts, full POS integration. The whole shaboodle is $299 US a month. That's the one I'm using at the moment.
Cool. Also, another question from Paula wants to know, does Shopify integrate with POS systems, and how well for stock control, etc.?
Yeah, really good question. And the number one question in the APEC region in New Zealand and Australia. So it doesn't integrate with POS, like with POS perfectly at all. It doesn't integrate. But what I have an iPad with my Shopify POS, and then I have to manually type, like, so if someone's buying something for $59, I'll have to press $59 into my FBOS machine, and then they process it. So the quick answer is no, it doesn't integrate yet. I know it's something that the wizards that work in that realm at Shopify are working on furiously, but New Zealand and Australia have some of the most what's the word, regulated parts around POS integration for the protection of everybody involved, and so it's just something that Shopify needs to work through. So yeah, it will happen. Just I don't know when. And as a merchant, I am drumming my fingers on the table, waiting for it to happen. But there are workarounds. Did
Okay,
that answer
so
your question? Hope so.
hopefully. So there's another one from Darren just asking, what are staff accounts?
Okay, so basically in Shopify, you as a owner of a Shopify store, you have an owner account, and then you might, like, for example, I'll just keep on pointing back to me because it's just the easiest way to describe it. In my retail shop, we have me. I'm the owner, and then and my wife, and then we have a staff member who works on Saturdays. We have another staff member who comes in and just picks and packs orders from our from our online shop, and then we have another a retail manager. Now, all of them have staff accounts, and they all have specific permissions. So, for example, the person packing the orders has a staff account, but can only see orders and can only look at that part of the Shopify admin. So, yeah, it's a great way to be able to give people different permission to different aspects of your Shopify store.
And another one from Colin Byrne. How about integration with point of sale systems like Hike, H-I-K-E, Hike?
The best, yeah, the best, I'd say that if they're Shopify doesn't build integrations. The other apps build integrations to us. So the best thing to do around that would be go to Hike, and I'd Google Hike plus integration and see if they've built one. If not, there are other ways that you can manage this, which is around using Zapier or other apps to fully integrate with your system.
Cool. And Paula, she's asking, thanks, but not quite. I think that was referring to the question before that's not quite answered. Thinking about the POS system, we use more than the FPOS, which is Ideal POS.
Okay.
Can you talk to that one, Julian?
Yeah, well, like, if you use Ideal POS, that's fine. You could still keep on going and using Ideal POS, and then just use Shopify for your online sales. I guess the main crux here is how do you manage your stock? So I don't have any knowledge around Ideal POS, but I'd say that there must be an inventory management solution where you can have, say, Ideal POS focusing on your retail, and then maybe Shopify focusing on on all the other channels that you're going to sell on.
Paula also would like to know what is the impact on resources such as staffing going from in-store to online?
Great question. Yeah. Well, yeah. I guess the lights never turn off on your online shop. So a day in the life of our online experience something goes like this. The staff come in the morning, print out X amount of orders that have come in since 4 o'clock that afternoon or 5 o'clock that evening. The orders get picked and packed and then placed for the courier to pick up. There's a bunch of online questions. We have a staff member who is dedicated to our social media, so we engage quite heavily with our online market. So we have online chat. So the impact's pretty good. In saying that, though, I run a retail shop, and I have one staff member who looks after 1.5 staff members who look after most of that on a daily basis.
Okay, and back to Darren. Are there any other ongoing costs, transaction fees, other than the monthly fee or credit card charges, i.e. commissions on sales, etc.?
Yes, so if you use Shopify payments, you get charged a merchant processing fee, like a credit card fee, and then I think that's it. There will be other costs, like do you have a custom domain name that you've paid for and you have to renew every year? Like Shopify is really good out of the box, but there are certain things that it just doesn't have that you might particularly want. For example, I use email marketing app, which I pay probably a couple of $100 a month on. I use a review app because I want people to review my products so I can get that social proof and use their reviews as content marketing for my social media. So like there are other costs involved. You might have some upfront costs as well. Like you might want a particular theme developed to make it look more like your brand, and so you'd have to pay for that. But we've worked it out. I actually sat down with Yolanda a couple of days ago, and it's for us, and we've got an established retail online shop now, and we pay around $850 a month for Shopify subscription and all the apps and all that sort of stuff. The other thing you need to think about is shipping costs, and all the ancillaries around that. And what I would definitely advise, even though I don't want to tell anyone how to do their jobs, but I would definitely advise adding the shipping costs into your cost price and then giving a really low or free shipping cost, because that's definitely a thing that's become the norm nowadays. Either low or free shipping is pretty much where online's going. So just embedding it into your costs. It's really funny, actually. I had someone tell me the other day that they had a $3 shipping charge for a takeaway food, and they had a lot of people being annoyed that it cost $3 for shipping, and then they increased their prices by $3 and made shipping free, and people loved it and they didn't even realize, which is quite interesting how fickle us humans are when it comes to paying for shipping.
Very interesting pricing strategy, because I think that's very clever. Virginia, you also asked about other costs, but I think, Julian, you've answered that, so I'll go on to the next one from Darren.
Bearing in mind, Jodine, like also just one thing, if people have very specific questions around their business and they really want me to, like, I'm 100% paid by Shopify to engage with any merchant. You don't have to be on Shopify, or any entrepreneur. If you want me to have a look at what you do and then advise on what I think, and using my expertise, I'm more than happy to meet up with you guys. And to do that, all you need to do, there's a booking button on my website, which is shopifynewzealand.co.nz. Just in case you do, there's plenty of time to meet me, and in a dedicated space in a private room as well. So feel free to book me out. I'd love to help anyone with their business.
Thanks, Julian. That's such a nice offer. I'm sure there'll be lots of people getting in touch with you. We just have one more question now. This is from Joanne White. She said, we are a social service running a retail shop. We have several services. All of these services, as well as the shop, are on our website. Do we need a separate website for the shop if we were to use Shopify?
No, you could direct it straight off your current existing website. And if you're a social service, if you're a charity or a non-profit org, Shopify has a payment plan dedicated for you as well. So feel free to get in touch with me so I can sort that out for you, because Shopify is pretty generous when it comes to non-profits and charities.
Brilliant. I think we've answered all the questions. Look, for anybody who would like to share this presentation, we'll be sending a link out for those who've missed it, and also those who want to pass it on to their colleagues and friends. Thank you all for joining, and thank you so much, Julian. It was a fantastic presentation. Makes me want to go and get my own Shopify business, to be honest. I'm sure I can find a good product to sell.
That's the other thing, Jodine. There are many people out there that have day jobs and also have side hustles too. So feel free to Shopify's got a free 90-day trial where you can literally use it for 90 days and not be charged at all. So I highly recommend that. Also, the other thing I really want to do just before we finish is I really want to see you at the spring fair. I want to shake your hand and actually see, and see you. That's happening, isn't it, Jodie? The spring fair is going to happen.
Absolutely. We're very excited that in 4 weeks' time we'll be in level 1, which means mass gatherings can go ahead. So we're very excited and full steam ahead with Spring Gift Fair. And also, just to let everyone know, because we couldn't run Winter Gift Fair this year, we've pulled something very special together, which will be going out next Thursday. So watch your email inboxes, and yeah, we think it's a really cool thing that we've done during lockdown. So hopefully you'll enjoy it too. Paula, I just wanted to say thank you for your amazing comments. She said it's been very valuable, and we've really enjoyed pulling it together too. Thanks, Julian.
Thank you. Well, yeah, really look forward to seeing you guys at the Spring Fair. Shopify is definitely going to be there. And yeah, again, please just reach out to me if you have any questions regarding my merchant journey as a retailer, or any of my Shopify experience or know-how.
Awesome. All right, everyone, enjoy the rest of your day. And thanks, Dee. She said awesome webinar. So brilliant. Thank you, guys. Bye.